Dear students, in last video we have studied about the very basic rules of differentiation. Now in this video we have to study that how to find out derivative of composite function. Okay, first see what is mean by composite function. So composite function, let y equal to f of x, y equal to f of u, y equal to f of u, and suppose u equal to g of x. Now here in y equal to f of u, here if we put the value of u, then that becomes y equal to f of g of x. Okay, and this is y is function of f is function of x, means y equal to f of g of x is the composite function. Let us see an example. Suppose y equal to 2u, okay, y equal to 2u, and if we put u equal to x, then y equal to 2 into u is x, hence y is function of x. Such type of function, if that is function of function, then it is called as the composite function. Composite function is also known as the chain rule. The composite function, that is the derivative of composite function, is also known as the chain rule. So by using chain rule or derivative of composite function, how to find out that we have to study in this video. For that, there is one theorem that we have to study. The theorem is very important in board exam also. That is important for 3 or 4 marks. Okay, let the statement of theorem: if y equal to f of u is differentiable function of u and u equal to g of x is differentiable function of x, such that the composite function y equal to f of g of x is differentiable function of x, then dy by dx equal to dy by du into du by dx. Means here in the statement we have given that y is function of u and u is function of x. Okay, means obviously y is function of x, y is differentiable function of x, and therefore y equal to f of g of x is differentiable function of x, and therefore while differentiating y with respect to x, first we have to differentiate y with respect to u and u with respect to x. Now let us prove the theorem. So we have given that y is function of u and u is function of x. Okay, and also we know that last year we have studied that the delta x, the variables in above theorem are u, y and x, and delta x, delta u and delta y are the small increments in u, and delta u and delta y are small increments in u and y respectively. And you know that what is meant by small increments, that we have studied in 11th standard. Okay, and the small increments are such that delta x is not equal to 0, delta y is not equal to 0, and delta u not equal to 0. Okay, consider delta y upon delta x equal to delta y upon delta u into delta u upon delta x. See the students, you know delta y upon delta x equal to delta y upon delta x. Okay, we multiply at n and d by delta u and delta u. While learn, remember this thing, how to take the increment ratio. Delta y upon delta x is delta y upon delta x, same thing. Okay, same, and multiply at n and d by delta u and take the combination of this. the combination of this, that is delta y upon delta u, this combination, and this is equal to delta y upon delta u into this combination into delta u upon delta x. Okay, now the next step is taking limit as delta x tends to 0 on both sides. Taking limit as delta x tends to 0 on both sides. Okay, so limit delta x tends to 0, delta y upon delta x equal to limit delta x tends to 0, delta y upon delta u into limit delta x tends to 0, delta u upon delta x. Only we have taken the limit as delta x tends to 0 on both sides. And we know that u is function of x, and therefore as delta x tends to 0, delta u also tends to 0. This is important. Delta x tends to 0, delta u tends to 0. Okay. You know y is function of u is function of x. And you know the definitions. Limit delta x tends to 0, delta y upon delta x equal to dy by dx as delta x tends to 0. Limit delta u tends to 0, delta y upon delta u equal to dy by du. Limit delta x tends to 0, delta u upon delta x equal to du by dx. By using these definitions, we have to prove the theorem. Now consider LHS of equation 1. What is the LHS? LHS of equation 1 is limit delta x tends to 0, delta y upon delta x. This is LHS. Okay. And by using this definition, directly the value of this, that is limit delta x tends to 0, delta y upon delta x, this is the definition. By using this, LHS equal to dy by dx. This is LHS. Okay. Now RHS. What is the RHS? RHS is limit delta x tends to 0, delta y upon delta u into limit delta x tends to 0, delta u upon delta x. Okay. So we have to put the values of first term and second term. In RHS there are two terms. This is the first term and this is the second term. Okay. So in the second term, if we observe, the second term is directly, we can write the second term from given definition. Okay. So this is limit delta x tends to 0, delta u upon delta x equal to du by dx. This is from this. Directly we can put. But consider the first term. In first term, the limit is delta x tends to 0 and the denominator is delta u. Okay. But as we know that u is function of x, u is differentiable function of x, and as delta x tends to 0, we can write delta u tends to 0. We have already write. Okay. By using this, we can write the first term, that is RHS. The first term of RHS equal to limit delta u tends to 0. Instead of writing delta x, we will write delta u tends to 0 by using this. And this is equal to delta y upon delta u into limit delta x tends to 0, delta u upon delta x. And now by the definition, by this one, by using this one, we can write the value. This is equal to dy by du, and into value of this, from here this is du by dx, and this is equal to RHS. Hence LHS equal to RHS. LHS equal to RHS, and therefore dy by dx equal to dy by du into du by dx. This is the chain rule. This is the differentiation of composite function. So while differentiation of composite function, the function is still differentiate. We have to differentiate up to that. Means sometimes the function may be function of function. At that time we have to differentiate till that. Okay. So in this way we have proved the theorem in 4 steps. In first step, delta x, we have considered the increments in which the variables are given. Then we consider the increment ratio, that is delta y upon delta x. Okay. Then we have taken the limit as delta x tends to 0 on both sides. Then we write the definitions, apply the definitions, and directly we have proved the theorem. This is the chain rule, which is very, very important. Okay.